How did that evolve into kind of like exactly what you're doing now with your content? Like from owning that business to now, you said you've been doing this type of thing as taking, grabbing content from famous people and putting it out there. What spurred that? Like, how did you get into doing all of this?
So the early days of my YouTube, so I've been on YouTube for almost 11 years now. The first video is me telling the story of Walt Disney. And my early videos were telling the stories of famous people who I couldn't get. I mean, there's no clips, very few clips of Disney. There's a couple, but I was telling their story and how they had success. My first top 10 mashup video was on Kanye West. And he's on my wall, back there in the corner. Because my friend for over a decade, Mark Drager, made this blog post about Kanye and Taylor Swift but it's like years after that whole thing happened, right? Mm-hmm. He's like, can we move on? I mean, Kanye does Kanye things, but it bothered me that people didn't want to learn from Kanye.
Yeah.
Like, Kanye's a genius.
I agree.
You can learn a ton from him, but it's overshadowed by the antics that he does, and people are always trying to get him in moments. And he often rises to the bait and takes it, and it becomes this viral clip. It's like, dude won more awards than anybody at his age. He went from being a beats producer to a rapper to an entrepreneur. You guys know John Legend?
Yeah.
Right? Like, legendary singer, but his name isn't John Legend. His name is John Stevens.
Oh.
And John Stevens and Kanye are friends, which already seems weird. Like, John Legend seems like the nicest human of all time. Right? So humble and nice. And then Kanye, like, how are these guys friends? So first off, they're friends. Second, they're sitting in a bar in Chicago when John Stevens is getting his start. And John Stevens says to Kanye, I feel like I'm an old soul. Like, I don't belong in this era. My voice is more like Sinatra era. I belong to a different generation. And Kanye says, dude, you should call yourself the legend. And John Stevens says, I can't call myself the legend. Like, what if it doesn't work out? I'm just getting started. and he convinced John Stevens to call himself John Legend. Right? So now, you may hate Kanye. You may think he's the biggest XYZ of all time. Awesome. But are you as good a friend to your friends like Kanye is to John Legend? Right? So I made the first top 10 video basically just as a in your face to my friend Mark Drager. Say, Mark, go watch his video and learn from Kanye West. And it was just this one-off thing. But then people loved it and said, hey, can you do Dame Dash? Hey, can you do Jay-Z? Hey, can you do Oprah? Hey, can you do... It was like, okay, yeah, cool. Why not? I'd love to learn from these people as well. So it turned from me just telling their stories to then also trying to grab clips. And every one that we make is meant to be a tribute, right? If I made a top 10 stupidest moments of Kanye, that'd be easy. And would probably blow up. Like, people would much rather listen to negativity and poking fun of people than actually try to get inspired and do something positive. But it's not, it make me feel gross. It's not what I want to create. So he's like, this is what I've learned from Kanye. And I hope that you can learn, if there's 10 things here, maybe 1 or 2 things you can apply to your life and get better. And so we try to condense, hours and hours and hours into 15 minutes of knowledge and motivation and inspiration to help you go off and build a better life.
How do you build all this up without driving yourself crazy, because personal development is fun, but you can also make yourself a little bit nutty with it. So how have you been able to execute on this, put these videos together, and then maybe still have time for other things and to be like a rational person and not fall too deep into like everything's got to be focused in on being a better person 24/7?
So I think balance is a very personal question. You got to figure out what your version of balance looks like for you, right? I look at you guys and like, you got your stacked guns and like, that's not me, right? There it is, right? Like, you value that a lot more than I do because I don't look like that, right? I could, but it's going to take me a lot of time in the gym to get there, right? And so I look at, Dwayne Johnson, for example, and in his, he needs to work out like 4 hours a day. So when he's on set, he wakes up 5 hours early so that he can work out, and 2 times cardio and 2 times weights, and then he showers and goes to his set. I think that's crazy. But I don't look like Dwayne Johnson, right? I mean, right. You get what you want. So I think you should be crazy. I think you should be crazy all in on your life and what that means to you. And if I stepped into your life, it should be torture for me.
I
right? Like the time that you spend in the gym, I'm going to die. Like this is the worst thing I hate my life if I stepped into your life, right? And it should be the same for me. Like if you're jumping into my life and you're doing the work I'm doing, it should be torture for you. But it's not torture for me because I love it, right? I'm doing my thing. So we judge ourselves on balance and what that looks like against other people's definitions. Where it's like, hey, if you're happy, if you love going to the gym and you love sleeping 10 hours a day and you love making podcasts and you love like whatever your version of balance is, awesome. Go live it.
You know, I think that's one of the reasons why I like the top 10 videos that you put out a lot, because like you'll put out a top 10 on Oprah, on Dwayne Johnson, on Kobe or whatever, right? And you'll watch those videos. But the great thing is that you'll like, I think there was a time when I was trying to figure out better ways to be a better communicator, and I saw your top 10 on Oprah, and then there's a lot of things on interviewing and communication in there, and I took a few things from that. I was like, oh, that's really, really dope. Just like you said that you learned from Bill Gates, you took some things that he had and you inserted into your life, and I think that's super powerful because, I mean, there might not be, you know, I might look at the things that you do and I might not do everything that you do because I'm just like, I can't manage that, but there might be a few things that can actually change the way I operate and change my life.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the goal, I think, with my channel, but also in personal development, because your goal isn't to be the next Oprah. It's to be the best you. Right. And so like, this is my office here. And I got on my right, Steve Jobs. And on my left, I got a picture of me when I'm 8 or 9 years old and my parents above me. And I like this contrast because I don't want to be a father like Steve Jobs. He wasn't that great a father, right? I want to be a father like my father was. But I don't want to be a visionary like my father because he's not a visionary, but Steve Jobs is, right? And so like you pull different things. You might hate Steve Jobs for all these things or hate Ye, right? But like you can learn from him and throw away the 98% of the stuff that doesn't serve you and just hang on to the 2 and use that to be better.
Has it ever been unhealthy for you to model yourself after somebody, or have you felt like you've been executing that pretty well?
I don't think I would say unhealthy. I would say it doesn't quite fit. So when you're modeling somebody, I feel like you're trying on their hat. And the hat doesn't quite fit. It serves the purpose of having a hat and protect you from the sun or whatever, and you'll get some momentum, but it's not quite you. And so you've got to make tweaks and adjustments, right? And so that's why I like the exposure to more people. So, you know, I love Young Les Brown as an example. Young Les Brown is my hero. As a speaker, he's the best for me. I can't be Young Les Brown. Like the way that he speaks and delivers and the stories that he tells isn't me, but I could take little pieces of it. But I think the first step is to emulate. Like if you guys are launching this show, episode 1, great. You're going to look at Joe Rogan and you're going to look at Tim Ferriss. You're going to look at whatever other interviewers, Oprah, Larry King, and you're going to take their questions. You say, ooh, Oprah asked that question. I love that. We're going to ask that question. But along the way, you're going to figure out, you know what? Like that question doesn't quite work. And we want to inject this one in. Like you find your style, but they get you a massive head start, right? Like they take you 80% of the way, and then you just got to tweak that last 20% to make it your own.